Welcome to Game 8 Reviews.
There's just something about the deep blue that scares most of us here at Game 8. Be it be the creatures that try to hurt us, I'm looking at you sharks, or our air might run out, or maybe it's the idea of just being alone in a vast and open sea. It just doesn't sit well with land-loving gamers like us. Luckily, the guys from Giant Squid, who were also responsible for the exploration adventure games like Journey and Flower, had this brilliant idea of making a game entirely underwater. Because ABZU is a game so beautiful and creative, it has rid us all of our anxieties that we have with the deep blue sea. Like the previous games of the developers, ABZU is a game that takes a somewhat minimalist design approach. So we open up with us floating in the middle of the sea, wearing a scuba suit, not knowing where we are or how we got there. It's up to the players to explore the open ocean to learn about the events that actually led them there. As we previously mentioned, this game takes pride in its minimalist design, where the main focus is exploring and soaking in its beauty. Much of your time will be spent on discovering the wonders of the world through interacting with the environment, solving the puzzles, and basically figuring out where to go next. That's essentially what ABZU does most of the time. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the game is breathtaking and actually engaging despite its simplicity. Of course, it's important to acknowledge that this game isn't necessarily going to be for everyone, because of its simplistic design choices. Gamers that are looking for a more action-packed adventure might find ABZU a bit lackluster. Surprisingly, even with the game's simplistic nature, they managed to pace it very well. You'll be going from a relaxing swimming experience with the fishes and corals to a more suspenseful feeling on the next when you encounter a great white shark. ABZU reveals its wonders to those who are willing to slow down and immerse themselves in the game. The surroundings are vibrant and teeming with life. Hundreds, if not thousands of fish are faithfully replicated from their real-life counterparts, with each actually having their own unique art and design. There are a lot of games out there that do provide immersive underwater experiences, but ABZU might be the one that stands out the most. The game doesn't really overwhelm players with gameplay mechanics to the point where it's paralyzing. The controls are simple enough to understand for gamers with varying levels of expertise. There actually isn't much danger to be found in ABZU, and you don't actually have any health bars in here, but the obstacle traps might stun you and leave you immovable for a couple of seconds. To Max Kaufman, the game's gameplay engineer, the fluid controls represented a challenge for the team. They said they were trying to simulate swimming without feeling swimmy. This was a problem because you might run the risk of feeling the heaviness of the character underwater, and it might ruin the overall gameplay experience. However, they rose up to the challenge and made it work beautifully. The movements are incredibly smooth and intuitive to the point that swimming underwater on this video game comes naturally. We didn't know that this was a mechanic at first, but the moment we knew we could hitch a ride on other animals like whales and turtles, a whole new experience just opened up to us. When we hitched a ride on a dolphin and leaped to the surface above the waves alongside other dolphins, that was definitely one of the best experiences we've had in a video game. If you simply plow through the game, you could finish it in roughly 2 to 3 hours. This might turn off some gamers who are looking for a longer playtime to be able to get the most out of their money. But ABZU is a game that's really meant to be finished in one sitting. With its music and immersive environments, we definitely don't mind replaying just to be able to see it all again. Along the way, you will find yourself with a companion drone that serves both as a partner and the game's mascot. This drone can help you solve puzzles and act as a tool to help you uncover new areas of the map. This is definitely a welcome addition to a game that often provides you a feeling of solitude and isolation. Each area provides a statue that your character can sit on, which will also trigger something akin to that of a Zen moment, where it allows players to observe the beautiful scenery provided by the game. When it comes to the game's story, ABZU's narrative is told through imagery. There's no narration or dialogue, and the game usually leaves you to interpret the world as you will. Through ruins and depictions of deities, it tells a story of creation and destruction, showing signs of people making sacrifices to the god of the sea. Danger seemingly lurks around the corner as a great white shark seems to always be following you at every step of the way. But as you progress through the secrets of the game, you'll learn that things are more than what they seem. ABZU doesn't have the most technologically advanced graphics that you usually see in AAA titles, but it more than makes up for it with its creativity and vibrance. The game looks absolutely stunning with different color palettes and wildlife all complementing each other to form a realistic environment. The game caps off at 30 frames per second. The sheer amount of activity moving around the area is mind-boggling to say the least, and the game engine handles it beautifully without any frame drops. The only time we notice a drop is when we encounter a swarm of sardines swimming around in a giant spherical shape. It may be because of the sheer volume of activity on the screen that the game engine had to compute, but other than that, the game runs smoothly with no hitch. The music in ABZU is a special and rewarding experience. This is another aspect of the game that makes it worthwhile to play. It was recorded via live orchestra and it really does make a difference. The music and sounds are timed perfectly in different scenes that you encounter, making every bit of in-game moments that much more engaging. Overall, ABZU is a wonderful trip beneath the waves, abounding in small surprises and impressing with sheer density of life in certain scenes, while adding its own intriguing mysteries to uncover. Because of the game's minimalist design, this might not be for everyone. Those who are looking for a more fast-paced and action-packed experience might be a little bit disappointed with ABZU. For gamers who are looking for something new, something they can have a go on in one sitting, or something that's just simply fun and quirky, then ABZU might be the game for you. ABZU is a hidden gem that we definitely recommend you find the time to play. Discovering the abyss has never been more fun, and we will definitely come back to this undersea adventure time and time again. Because of this, we give ABZU a 9 out of 10.